Good morning, everybody, and this is your Dow Jones day trade setup for today. So, as expected yesterday, I wasn't expecting us to rally anywhere, and normally what happens when there's a little bit of concern, we tend to just hover around. So the buyers are trying to come in, you can see here, but this is a hanging man. You can see a big green bar and then a red body, long tail. So in other words, price went down. The bulls tried to drive it up again, but the bears managed to get a lower close than the previous bar. So that is a hanging man, and then you've got a bit of a follow through, but there are a few tails here with the buyers coming in off this area here, which is 31,365. Oscillators are starting to cross over. We are below the moving, well, not all the moving averages, but we're below the 155 EMA, and we are sort of back in this bear channel. So remember what I said, we start breaking below the bottom of the channel, that validates this big move here to the downside. So pay very, very careful attention to that. If we start drilling down to the lower time frames, this is where we start getting a little bit of confusion, and we've got a crossover of the moving averages here. Okay, we are above the 155. We've had a strong move up. This looks like a bit of a flag. We'll look at that on the 1 hour chart. And then the second thing is we've got the oscillators that are separating. And remember, when they start separating and they cross over far apart, you tend to have a fairly aggressive move. See if there is an example here. Here's an example of a downward move. So you can see a pretty strong move down. So there's another one there. I don't think we've had any to the upside in near recent time now. I just pay attention to that. That is starting to brew. So this could be a flag. So 8 hour is indicating that we are really tired and we're looking for a move down. 3 hours indicating that this is just a bit of retracement and you should be looking for an area of support. There is another area of support lower down which hasn't been tested, which would test the moving averages. So that is at 31,045, and I would pencil in 3,100 as well as an area to watch. So if we look at the hour, that's what we're interested in. Another different picture, bit of a flat bottom triangle could be brewing, or it could be a wedge. So we will put the wedge in for now because the trend is up. You can see by the moving averages the trend is up. We're at a fairly strong level of support. So if that holds, then we would be looking for an opportunity to the upside. However, I would be looking at this on the 15 minutes today. And look at the chaos from yesterday. Look at that. That barbed wire, that is complete confusion. So you can see sellers and buyers going into the close, nobody really knowing what is going on. And you can see this trend top of the flag was bought, and then we tried to find support on it, but Asian session we've come below it. So a lot of confusion here. There is no real structure except further down. So that's the closest bit of structure, which is down here, and that would be below the moving averages. We've also got a break of, you've got to cross over the moving averages here. So let me just get rid of these diagonals because that's just going to add confusion to our charts. We've got our horizontal levels we need to pay attention to, but I'm going to add one more. So a long for me today would be a break and retest of 31,561 on the 15-minute chart. That would get me moving to the upside. A break of I don't even want to say that. Let's just move it a little bit up to there because there's quite a bit of support here. So break to the downside of 31,382. So I want to see a break and a retest and then start a rejection of it. That would get me short. And that would be basically to the bottom of the channel down here somewhere at 3,800. But 3,100 would probably be my first target area. 3,145 and then 3,100 would be first target area. So that's the structure that I can see today. And you can see we didn't do anything yesterday. It was pretty much ranging. Tried to break above, down, try to break above. Now we're sort of trying to find support here. But this move here, 31,561, definitely an opportunity to move up to 31,900. If we get through that 31,950, then 3,200. So that would be that kind of the structure I see. So on the hour, that does look really appetizing. And if we get above here, then you can start working out your measured moves. And I think the first measured move you need to pay attention to is this one. And that's 32,200. So I get to the 8 hour just to see there's nothing much there. So ideally what I would like to see, and we're going to try and work this out. So ideally what I would like to see is something, yeah. So pull back onto this area here, 31,045. Okay, and that takes us to the underside here at 32,500. That would be a proper bit of structure for me. So could ignore it, could just break above here, hit this level, come back, then hit the next level, then come back, then hit it. So that is also an option. But for me, first prize would be pull back down to 31,045, 3100, build a base there, just looking at the 1 hour chart or the 8 hour charts at the moment. And then that would be bottom of range, possibly a bigger range if I draw a trend line across there, and then back to the top again. Anyway, that's kind of my view at the moment, but 15-minute chart is the one to do it. If we break below this level, then you've got a short down to the downside. And then if you break above the current high of today, then you've got to move to the upside. So basically the current high and current low of today is your two levels you need to pay attention to before jumping in on a trade in either direction. Anyway, hope that helps, and we will catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.